They scattered us. For generations they cut our forest, mined our land, and built their walls without fear. They feasted in castles raised with stone taken from our mountains. And when we asked for trade, they called us thieves. When we sought for peace, they called us beasts. The rulers of men who gorge themselves on our suffering. But tomorrow we remind them that the land remembers who it belongs to.
My God, we are losing ground every day. Is there news on the Eastfold?
Those poor farmers in Silverbrook, the Guildmere, have fallen to the ogre encroachment. And Dawnshire, what? I have family in Dawnshire, but our forces aren't there. Have our troops been removed from my state?
We strike in 4 locations. The Orcs have taken a foothold in the south and already control the Eastfold. If we lose any more ground, we won't have a kingdom.
Our spires, our shamans, already walk their halls. Cloaked in illusions whisper to their kings. The druids have woven spells so strong their humans will not know their own until their gates stand open and their steel is turned against them. Tomorrow we march o'er the basin. Their nobles clutch at gold while they stand upon a land of power. Iron and silver, the rare stones that fuel their magic and forge their weapons. The wealth will be ours.
Strike first, starve them out. We carve them from our lands before they can dig in like a disease.
Orc clans are known to turn on each other. They lack discipline, unity. If we choke their supply lines, they won't rally against us. They will butcher each other in desperation.
A necessary correction. The peasantry squabble for bread while we shape the world. It is only natural.
Let them tear each other apart. We will collect the bones once they are done.
You speak of cattle, but these are wolves. I have seen what happens when the orc fights not for conquest, but for survival. There will be no fear, no collapse. A starved orc is not a weakened foe. He is a beast unleashed.
And yet, beasts are culled.
They've always been a wild, unruly thing. Give them scarcity, and they will do our work for us. A precise operation. A gentle tightening of the noose. I do enjoy a siege when it's well executed.
They are securing supply lines, stockpiling resources, and tightening their grip. We cut them off here, here, and here, simultaneously, and we force them to crumble under their own hunger.
Then may the gods have mercy, because the orcs won't.
A necessary reality, nor will we.
I have heard your plans, and I have my own.
And the Gulch, they built their cities on our timber. They called it their lumber, as if it was not cut from our earth. We will take it back. We will burn their banners, and we will plant our own. We do not ride for war, I ride for honor, for land, for power. And tonight I ride to bring home their flag torn from their walls for our people. Today will bring in the day of the orcs. The ogre king still stands.
Not for long. Let me crush their bones.
Break the king and his people scatter. No king, no kingdom.
A people without a leader will need a new leader.
A king is still a king. He bends or he breaks. Either way, his people march with us. The Ogre King is dead, His skull lies at my feet. The ogres march beside us, and the giants will follow. Green Fang Valley will be a river of blood before the next sunrise.
We were not prepared. On that cursed day, we lost more than half our nation's warriors. We did not just lose men, we lost hope, we lost honor, we lost the very foundation of our kingdom. We rode to war in arrogance, draped in steel and certainty, believing we would carve through their ranks like scythes through wheat. But the orcs, my gods, the orcs were not the mindless savages our lords deemed them to be. They did not cower at our banners, nor falter at our charge. They knew we were coming. Whether it was treachery from within, or the keen eyes of their hunters that unraveled our plan, it matters not. The moment we crossed into their lands, we were already condemned. Our king, in his hubris, sought to strike them in the dead of night, to burn their villages, to slaughter their kin before they could muster a defense. But we did not march to slaughter sheep. We stepped into the den of wolves. From the mountains to the plains, we came to bring it, yet it was we who were shattered. Their shamans, wretched masters of the old magics, reduced our finest swordsmen to nothing but ash. Our knights, trained since youth to master steel, fell before warlocks who wove death from the very air. We had thought ourselves superior in tactics and skill, but skill means nothing when your foe does not break, does not yield, does not die like men. They did not fight for land, nor riches, nor even for vengeance. They fought for blood, for battle, for the sheer rapture of war itself. And when their weapons failed them, they tore through us with their bare hands. I saw men in full armor ripped apart like parchment, their skulls crushed beneath fists like iron. I saw warriors out of breath and out of time, drowned beneath a sea of endless fangs and fury. I saw my brothers reduced to dust. We struck first, but they struck last. And in war, it is the final blow that matters. We rode forth to end them, to cleanse their kind from this world. And yet, as I stand here now, as the last echoes of our charge fade into nothing, I see the truth. It is not they who face extinction. It is us.
Hold the line! Hold the line! They break the ranks, they'll kill us all. Hold.
Fall back! Fall back! Burn them all! Protect the siege weapons! Fall back to the siege weapons!
Our banners lay trampled, our swords buried in the bodies of the fallen. The war horns have gone silent, the cries of the dying long faded into the cold wind. And yet, they stand. The orcs stand. Bruised, bloody, broken, but alive. Always alive. What did we hope to achieve? To drive them from the mountains, from the forests, from the rivers and plains? To claim these lands as our own? These lands have never been ours. They have belonged to them since the dawn of time, and today they remind us of that truth. The lucky ones were the first to fall, their deaths swift by blade or fire. The unlucky ones, they were given to the orc warriors, dragged through the blood-soaked dirt like hunted beasts. I saw knights who had sworn to die with honor, now on their knees, begging for mercy that would never. The orcs do not take prisoners, they take trophies, skulls for their altars, bones for their weapons, names to be swallowed by the wind. Some say we should have stayed behind our walls, let the orcs come to us, but walls crumble. And they would have come all the same. No fortress, no army, no king could have stopped them. They are a force of nature. Amidst the ruin of my people, the fires have burned to embers, and yet the sky is darker than before. We thought we could claim our way, but it is we who are trespassers. We who are the invaders, and for that, there will be no mercy. The war is not over. No, the war has only begun. And as I look upon the distant horizon, where the next wave of their kind gathers beneath the storm, I note one thing to be true. We were not prepared.
Oh!